I'm Gypsy Metellus. Welcome to Haitian Voices. Haitian Voices is a new monthly program introducing you to diverse voices in South Florida's Haitian American community. We'll bring you artists, writers, and entrepreneurs, as well as faith and political leaders. As we celebrate Black History Month on this episode of Haitian Voices, we're taking the opportunity to highlight successful Haitian Americans. So the Haitian community in South Florida boasts many professionals in the fields of medicine, law, education, engineering, business, and politics. For example, there are 15 Haitian Americans elected to office in South Florida. There are more than 100 attorneys, 2 Haitian American judges, and hundreds of doctors and nurses. Today, we welcome 2 individuals who represent such success stories. We welcome Michelle Austin-Pamise, an attorney and partner at the Austin-Pamise Norris Weeks law firm, and Gerda Nicholas, a successful academician, published author, and professor at the University of Miami. Welcome to the program. It's so very nice to have you.
Thank you so much.
So we want to first recognize the 2 of you as very successful Haitian Americans. So Gerda, as a professor of education psychology at UM, right? Talk a little bit about what makes you successful.
Well, it's always so interesting to have a conversation about being success, right? Because culturally it doesn't even relate, because we don't often see ourselves in that, right? So
and we're very reserved.
Very reserved, right? We don't necessarily. So it's always exciting when somebody get a chance to say, "What makes you a success?" I'm like, I think I'm still thriving to get there, you know. But at the same time, I do think I accredit to a lot of the sort of pathways that I've had. This is my 24th year in the academy as a Haitian American professor, and that has a lot of meaning for me as an individual who was born and raised in Haiti until my teen years. And I can attribute a lot of my success based on that foundation that I've had in Haiti in terms of the schooling, a love for learning, a love for humanity that I think I bring to the table. Mm-hmm. And when I look at both my role as a professor or as an administrator, right, who's responsible for staffing and responsible for students and so forth, and I credit that to really a need to connect with people and having a good interpersonal relationships with others. And I think if you are human and you show that and you bring that with you, then that, for me, has led to a level of success over the years. So when I look at my pathways from being in New York as a professor at Columbia to being at Boston College for many years and not being at UM, I credit a lot of those experiences to that love for respecting and connecting with people, and a recognition that every single person has some potential and have an ability to thrive and succeed. And that is a credit to my Haitianness,
yes,
I say.
And that's good. And we recognize that we're very modest as Haitian Americans or people of Haitian descent. You know, we're very reserved. We don't boast about our successes. We hope that someone will say that to us.
Yes.
And I want to say to you that, yes, of course, you are a successful Haitian American academician. So I want to say that to you and give you those props.
I'll take it.
Michelle Austin, you are one of these fantastic Haitian success stories. You've done so much. Talk a little bit about your pathways in terms of your career in law.
I'd like to start out by saying that I didn't start out in law. I came to it only after I had 2 children. So in my mid-30s, I became an attorney, and since then I've done a lot of things. I'd say I started working at Holland & Knight, a firm in Miami, then went on to work for AutoNation as in-house counsel, worked as general counsel of a state agency in Tallahassee, then was general counsel for Potemkin Automotive Group in Coral Gables, went to work for Union Pacific Railroad for a few years in Omaha, Nebraska, and now I'm here in private practice at Austin-Pamise Norris Weeks in Fort Lauderdale. That's my path professionally. To support what Gerda had to say, I think that any efforts I have made, I would like to attribute them to an immigrant family a mother and father who were both driven to see their children succeed in this country. And it's not unique. I don't feel special in my family. In fact, my brother is a radiation oncologist, and I think of him as much more successful. I have another brother who is a regional director for the Small Business Administration in Texas. And I think that the core values that the Haitian family brought to the table, commitment to education, and just improving your lives and to the extent you can, those of others, I thought it was invaluable.
Fantastic. So using the two of you as examples, right, let us take a look at other successes around the South Florida area. As you know, there are many Haitian Americans. I think census would have us be at about 300,000 and strong. And within those 300,000 Haitian Americans or Haitians in South Florida, we know that there are many successful entrepreneurs. There are nurses, doctors. So let's talk about what that success looks like. Michelle.
Well, right now in private practice, I have a lot of Haitian clients. That success is varied. I have a client who owns nursing homes, a Haitian American woman. She's a nurse. She's quite successful in having run several, I say nursing homes, I really meant group homes, for the developmentally disabled. And she is doing an excellent job and has been able to create wealth just by being a hardworking nurse owning those group homes. I have Haitian clients also who are involved in telecommunications businesses, who have one now has built a new Marriott hotel in Cape Haitian. Haitians are doing everything. I have a young Haitian man in his 30s who started a vodka brand.
Oh, wow.
And it's thriving and it's being served in bars throughout the country, in addition to other things he's involved with. So Haitian Americans are doing everything in every sector. And I really would like for the world to know where we are and what we're doing.
So those are great examples of business success, entrepreneurial success, right? Let's take a look at the 16 or more Haitian Americans elected to office in South Florida. And I want to highlight that because it's so unique to the Haitian experience, the Haitian immigrant experience. This is the only place in our history as immigrants where there are so many Haitian Americans elected to office.
Absolutely.
So how do you explain that?
Absolutely. I'm not surprised by that, to tell you the honest truth, right?
So what makes South Florida unique in that sense?
I think that when I talk to other Haitians in this area, there is an intrinsic drive to do better and be better and act better, right? And that is in all sectors of the world, right? So when I meet the person who is a housekeeper, which we may not necessarily define as successful, but they take on that role with all of the intrinsic, right, and so forth. So for me, that you see that also in the individuals who are running for office, right? It is a larger drive, but it's also not just about me. There's also that piece of it, and I think people resonate with that. The individuals that I've had a chance to connect with who are in these positions get up every single day thinking about the other,
right,
and thinking about the larger community and understanding that they have a role to play in shifting the narratives about Haitians and about Haiti as a country.
And I'm glad you make that point because really I'd like you, Michelle, to bring out the fact that the Haitian community in South Florida is largely known to be an immigrant population, a refugee population, so both people. Most people would assume that that's all of us are both people. And so to have 16 Haitian Americans elected to office in an area of the United States that did not necessarily start out with your traditional immigrants, right? Your middle class immigrants, your more educated immigrants, your immigrants with more resources who opted for the New Yorks, the New Jerseys, the Connecticuts. But in South Florida, all these refugees gave us 16 Haitian Americans elected to office. So talk a little bit about that.
Happy to talk about that. I think that we've become quite sophisticated. Okay, so for those who'd like to consider the group to just be a group of Haitian refugees in South Florida, they need to come to understand that things have changed.
Right. and they may just not be aware of the complexities.
Right, so we need to share with them that things have changed.
Yeah.
The refugee crisis we're talking about is 80s, okay? So now we are quite far away from the 80s, and there's a generation of people who are thriving in this community.
Absolutely.
And they are thriving together in that as they're doing better, they haven't stepped away from each other. I always like to say that for myself, I love Miami for the reason that I know that I can at any moment go to a Haitian restaurant and have my griot or whatever it is that I want to eat. I could have my whole entire cultural experience here, go debate Haitian politics here. And so we've stayed together, although we're part of the greater community. And we're becoming more sophisticated, and I'll say this, the Haitian Lawyers Association here in South Florida, I was one of the founding members in 1996. Today, we're hundreds in terms of membership, and we could be more if everyone of Haitian American origin joined.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
we are a good group. So out of all of that, I have to say, since we are strong, we have our own radio shows where we promote ourselves. We have TV stations, and we're sharing information with each other. What happens is that part of the sophistication is you need to have representation. And the Haitian people are quite aware of that. And they're being communicated that on the radio each and every day. Very active politically, Haitians are voting.
Absolutely.
And we're also fundraising.
Yes.
We're getting even more sophisticated. We're fundraising and we're supporting our elected officials. And we're also willing to support others. And we do support others who are non-Haitians, but who care about our issues.
That's right. That's right. So let's talk a little bit about all of the, the professionals in medicine, nurses and physicians. I read somewhere that there were more Haitian American physicians than any other, any other black group, right? So again, we know that in this community, the children of both people, the children of immigrants, have become the successes that we're talking about today, and that's a wonderful thing. But that's not a fact that too many people are aware of.
Absolutely.
So what is it we're not doing to make sure that people understand that our community is complex, that our community is diverse, our community is not monolithic, our community has the successes and challenges that you find in any other immigrant community.
Absolutely. And I think you're studying it, right? I think the opportunity to have a show where you have Haitian voices and you get a chance to highlight some of these success stories and allow people to hear those numbers, I think that's just a great beginning, because it allows individuals to have a live-in place. It's not just watching it once, but you can always go back to that show and say, what were those numbers again that Gypsy said about the number of elected officials? So I do think we have to be our own advocate, which kind of gets back to what we said at the beginning, which is we're not always good at promoting what we do and who we are, right?
And
culturally.
So that brings me to two, I think, successful Haitian Americans. Raoul Peck, as a filmmaker, recently nominated for his documentary on James Baldwin, right? And most recently, the young lady who was Miss Haiti, Miss Universe runner-up.
She was first runner-up at Miss Universe, extraordinary accomplishment. You mentioned Raoul Peck. Similarly, he's been producing films for a very long time, but right now he may get an Oscar for his documentary I'm Not Your Negro, which is spectacular. And we have all of that. I would like to stress that we have the musicians. We could name a few: Wyclef Jean, Jason Derulo, I guess.
Michel Boudin.
There are quite a few in every endeavor, in the arts. We were talking about Jean-Michel Basquiat, known internationally, well recognized. we have all types. But what I think is more important and fundamental for us to stress is that our Haitian success stories really it has to do with individual immigrants coming to this country and making an effort to contribute to it and to contribute to their children so that the next generation is improved. And our successes are everywhere. I remember I used to go to the Keys and sometimes run into Haitians who worked there, and they would be busboys, right? And now when you go to the Keys, the Haitian person is the manager of the restaurant in the hotel. And so there's a lot going on in terms of a transition, and it takes individual hard work. And every single person who was able to come here and achieve such that even if they weren't thriving, that they were able to raise their children to perform better in the next generation. They're each individual success stories to be recognized. And I'm recognizing my parents in that sense.
And that's a wonderful thing.
Absolutely.
Because I think it was you, Gerda, who mentioned earlier that we don't always define success by the degree to which someone has a number of academic degrees, has a lot of money or wealth to demonstrate that success, but that there are Haitian Americans who are quietly successful, successful under the radar.
Absolutely.
And since they're under the radar, I may not name any names, but there are quite a few. So that also says that we've got work to do to I guess, highlight those successes, highlight the examples.
And can I say, it's crucial for this next generation of Haitians who are coming up, right? And it's crucial for the Haitians who are back home. We're talking about a country that is 60% under the age of 22 and who have more access to the internet. They're on Facebook, they're on Twitter, they're on a lot of different places. And the opportunity for them to see and recognize the impact that Haitians are having becomes crucial. I had a student who came into my classroom this semester, and she said, I'm so excited to be here as a Haitian student because I've never had a Haitian professor, right? That's meaningful to me, and that's meaningful for her because it allows her to imagine her place where I am, right? And having having individuals and shows like that allows individuals to see a successful lawyer says to a Haitian young person, I can be that too.
Yes.
Right? And that's important.
That's very important. Go ahead, Michelle.
In New York, I attended something called the Haitian Roundtable.
Yeah.
They have this every year.
Yeah.
It's been the past few years. And even though I thought I was aware of a lot of the, a lot of these people who are reaching great heights in the Haitian American community, I went there and was very impressed to learn that there were a lot more of them.
Exactly.
And some of them are people you see on television, but you don't know that they are Haitian because nobody identifies them as having been born in Haiti or having been of Haitian origin. I was really impressed with that, and I think we need a lot more of that, a lot of recognition for those people who are really making an effort, and it helps. It's not really to benefit the person who's recognized. What it really does is it highlights Haitian Americans such that other Haitians and Haitian Americans in this country can aspire and can develop a strong sense of who they are.
Absolutely.
And outside of what the mainstream media would project.
Absolutely.
We are diverse, not monolithic, and we have these extraordinary people in our midst.
Doing
and we should be proud of
things.
Very
And I'm
talented.
hoping that this show will begin to highlight some of those successes and some of those extraordinary things that are happening. I think you mentioned that for instance, a wonderful Haitian family, wonderful in the sense that every single child is a professional, right? So you attribute that to what in the immigrant family? What drives that? What pushes a child to succeed in this sense?
We had a conversation prior to the show about the fact that this one family, they came to this country, they came to New York, not really, the parents were not wealthy, they didn't come here with anything, but they learned pretty quickly. They were able to try to get the best schools for their kids, the best kind of Catholic schools, whatever they could afford at the time. And right now they have a daughter who's an attorney and successful, a son who's the chair of engineering at Virginia Tech, another one who's a cardiologist, and most impressively for most of us, the fourth one is CFO for a Fortune 100 company.
That's fantastic.
Now, what made that happen? I really go back to this. We are a group of immigrants who, generally speaking, are quite ambitious. We're industrious and we're hardworking. If you're looking at, and I want to make sure that folks understand that it's all classes and categories of Haitian people all have that drive, because when my parents came, they pushed us, and the people coming in by boat also are pushing. And this family, I met the father and the mother, they were just driven, they were disciplined, and they instilled these values in their children to push hard. So whatever direction, they instilled the values to push hard.
Push hard.
And you know, the fact that now we have so many examples that younger Haitian Americans can look to.
Absolutely.
And say, you know, I want to be in academia.
Absolutely.
You know, look at Dr. Nicholas, so I can be that person, right? And so I think we've got an opportunity to help so many others aspire to the great heights that we're celebrating today.
Especially,
right?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Please.
no, especially, I also want to make sure that we understand that there are other people who are immigrants and also people in our own community who have children who are not aspiring to such heights.
And sometimes they just don't have the examples.
Right,
or the guidance.
and where we don't have it, that's the gap we're trying to fill.
Absolutely.
We're trying to fill it because there was this whole culture that we came from, and we know what it is, the one that valued work, that valued effort. And I have to say, that valued morality.
That's good.
And we want to keep that up.
We certainly want to reclaim
those values,
right?
and we want to share it with whoever's thinking that, you know, they've been defined by a few articles here or there.
Yes, absolutely.
And so the final message to the viewers would be Haitian Americans in South Florida are doing or striving for what, Dr. Nicholas?
Are striving for greatness for themselves, for the larger Miami community, and for Haiti. We need to change the narrative and the perception of this great community and the work that is being done by many individuals, and ultimately is a product of a country that oftentimes doesn't get, you know, the positive perception that it should. But we are a product. We sit here, all three of us,
as
products of Haiti.
Very true.
And that has a lot of meaning.
Very true.
And so when somebody Googles Haiti, hopefully we shows up.
Michelle, same question to you. We're striving for what? Haitian Americans in South Florida are striving for?
I think in a nutshell, we are striving for empowerment, and we want to be part of the game. In other words, we're learning. So now we are elected officials. We want to get more of those. We want to support candidates who are supportive of our issues. We want folks to recognize that we're not just an immigrant that's creating a problem for this country, as some would have it these days, but an immigrant population that has been contributing substantially to our community and will continue to do that.
Very good. And so the examples that you offer, right, I think remind...
And you offer.
Yes.
Thank you very much. And I'm hoping that Haitian Voices continues to carry this message, continues to highlight and lift up all the wonderful things happening in our community, in spite of the challenges. Because again...
no less from you, Gypsy.
Because the challenges are challenges that I think we all face as Miamians, as South Floridians, as a larger community. But this is our opportunity to celebrate our successes, to celebrate Haitian Americans. And again, I'm thanking both of you for being
here. Thank you for
you are the
having us.
examples that you are. Continue to do great work. And I guess we're going to leave it there and thank the viewers. Thank you so very much for joining us. And please do join us for another episode of Haitian Voices, Sunday, March 12th and March 26th at 12:30, right here on South Florida PBS. So I'm Gypsy Metellus. Thank you so very much for watching. Stories. We welcome Michelle Austin-Pamise, an attorney and partner at the Austin-Pamise Norris Weeks law firm, and Gerda Nicholas, a successful academician, published author, and professor at University of Miami. Welcome to the program. It's so very nice to have you.
Thank you so much.
So we want to first recognize the two of you as very successful Haitian Americans. So Gerda, as a professor of education psychology at UM, right? Talk a little bit about what makes you successful.
Well, it's always so interesting meaning for me as an individual who was born and raised in Haiti until my teen years. And I could attribute a lot of my success based on that foundation that I've had in Haiti in terms of the schooling, a love for learning, a love for humanity that I think I bring to the table. And when I look at both my role as a professor or as an administrator, right, who's responsible for staffing and responsible for students and so forth, and I credit that to
This episode of Haitian Voices, we're taking the opportunity to highlight successful Haitian Americans. So the Haitian community in South Florida boasts many professionals in the fields of medicine, law, education, engineering, business, and politics. For example, there are 15 Haitian Americans elected to office in South Florida. There are more than 100 attorneys, 2 Haitian American judges, and hundreds of doctors and nurses. Today, we welcome 2 individuals who represent such success.
to have a conversation about being success, right? Because culturally it doesn't even relate, because we don't often see ourselves in that, right? So
and we're very reserved.
Very reserved, right? We don't necessarily. So it's always exciting when somebody get a chance to say, "What makes you a success?" I'm like, I think I'm still thriving to get there, you know. But at the same time, I do think I accredit to a lot of the sort of pathways that I've had. This is my 24th year in the academy as a Haitian American professor, and that has a lot of.
Hello, I'm Gypsy Metellus. Welcome to Haitian Voices. Haitian Voices is a new monthly program introducing you to diverse voices in South Florida's Haitian American community. We'll bring you artists, writers, and entrepreneurs, as well as faith and political leaders. As we celebrate Black History Month on this